And welcome to Patriot Over 50. Welcome, welcome. It's been a while. Oh my goodness, you guys, it's getting harder and harder to be an American. Anyway, let me just get started right in. Now, I'm going to be reading from a script because, well, at my age, you have to, or I have to. So, yeah, I'll do my best, and I get to play with these sounds. Please, and how did we get here? No, seriously. Ah, I remember election night 2024 like it was yesterday. I was sitting here and had butterflies in my stomach, like it was the Cirque du Soleil routines going on, and just butterflies. And at the same time, I had this kind of sense of dread looming in the back of my head, fearful of what we might have to endure for another 4 years, knowing that if we had to go through another 4 years with a Democrat, with Kamala in the White House, that America wouldn't be America anymore. So I live on the East Coast, and our polls had been closed for about 3 hours when the West Coast polls started closing and the numbers started rolling in, and people were making their predictions about the results. And some of us were less sure than others. That's putting it mildly. And in a matter of hours, we were going to find out whether our America still had a pulse, or whether we were about to spend another 4 years in a blender set to chaos puree. Then hallelujah, Trump won. Cue the fireworks, cue the tears, cue the neighbors screaming in the streets like we just won the Super Bowl of democracy. More than half of the country was thrilled and relieved. The others were Googling for airplane tickets while spinning their globes at home and letting fate decide where they were going to move because, they couldn't stay in America if Trump won. No, they were leaving the country. I smile as I imagine them packing their emotional support suitcases. It was hilarious and pathetic to watch the behavior coming from those woke leftist thugs. And the tears. Oh my gosh, the tears. And the TikToks that came across with people just bawling because Trump won. You would have thought their first child died. I mean, it was pathetic. And I must say that I loved watching those clueless, lying idiots wallowing in their grief. I guarantee you, we did not act like those imbeciles when Biden won in 2020. No way. Finally, things were starting to feel right in this country, and we had hope. Things actually felt good for a while. The border was finally closed, thank God. Illegals were not crossing anymore. DOGE, the Department of Governance Efficiency, was being set up under tech wizard Elon Musk, who looked like he hadn't slept since 2012, but still somehow had the energy on a caffeinated squirrel. And he did a good job as far as I could tell until he was let go all of a sudden. Trump let him go, and they said his time had run out. But anyway, Looking back, I think that that was a ruse of Trump's. He was making things look like they were a certain way at that time, and it lasted for a while. Executive orders were flying out like Oprah giveaways, and praise God, common sense was back. Reality was back. Biology was back. When Trump told us there was only two genders, do you all remember that? I think he signed an executive order stating that there are only two genders in America that are recognized. Can you imagine our country getting to that state? I mean, such a ridiculous state that the president had to tell us that there were only two genders. Weird. Well, I mean, what the fuck was that? Absolutely wacko, crazy, woke bastards. I mean, fuck them. Excuse my language. America was sane again. We woke up to the bullshit being stuffed down our throats for the past 4 years. And there were no more boys in Girl Scout sports and Girl Scouts. There were not going to be any boys in the girls' sports anymore. Thank God. Sanity was coming back. At least it appeared that way. We could breathe again. We could unclench. We could stop doom scrolling long enough to remember what hope felt like. But don't get too comfortable. Nope. I started noticing a change in Trump, and so did a lot of others. It was troubling, to say the least. And then the day came. I remember it oh so well. The day the record scratched. The day the vibe died. Trump was asked about the Epstein files, the scandal everyone had been waiting to see, exposed. And he said, much to our surprise, he said, "Are you still talking about the Epstein files?" I heard jaws drop all across America. I could not believe it. So many people could not believe those words came out of the president's mouth. Are y'all still talking about the Epstein files? Fuck yeah, we are. I swear the entire country did the slow blink meme at the same time. People replayed it like maybe the audio glitched. Nope, he said it. And a giant chunk of his supporters felt something inside them crack like a cheap lawn chair. Because that wasn't just a bad answer. That was a tell. And a very disappointing tell. And a sad tell. A mask slip. A wait, whose team are you on moment. It literally changed the MAGA movement. And the Republicans were MAGA no more, at least not like they had been. We were the sane ones that left MAGA. We were still Republicans, a lot of us. But we were starting to more associate with like the nonpartisans, I would say. About this time, the most horrific political assassination happened right in front of our eyes. It was horrible, to say the least, and it was a huge wake-up call for America. At least it was a wake-up call for some of us, for us sane people, for us who had common sense and critical thinking skills left. But then the lies started piling up, and the cover-ups by the FBI. And Kash Patel would lie and cover up and this and that. No, it was beyond ridiculous. We couldn't let this go, though. We weren't going to accept the Fed slop they were feeding us. It just made no sense. I'm talking about Charlie's assassination, of course. So Candace Owens started investigating this narrative that we were being fed, and one thing led to another. There were millions of online sleuths that became part of this movement, and it has grown exponentially since then, and it's still happening, and it's a force that can't be stopped, let me tell you that. And we are going to find out the truth of what happened, who did it, and why they did it. And that will be revealed soon, we believe, soon. So while all of this was happening, Israel had become very blatantly obvious that they were involved, allegedly, in his assassination. And Israel and the Zionists, I mean, every time another clue or fact is found out or lie is exposed, the Zionists freak out, and it's become quite the thing. Of course, we're called crazy and conspiracy theorists, but we're not. The truth's going to come to light. The non-believers will see. It's only a matter of time. But anyway, the Zionists get louder and louder, and they freak out. And 98% of our politicians, including our president, have bought into this Israel Zionist lies and slop that they've been feeding us. Bibi Netanyahu runs our government, make no mistake, including Trump. What Bibi wants, Bibi gets, and I mean every freaking time. It's the most disgusting thing I and others have ever seen. It's unbelievable, really. They have gaslit and lied to us since 1948 and have done such a good job at fooling our politicians and half of the American people that it's hard to believe that people are that dumb. These wackos do not ever think for themselves. They lost that ability somewhere along the way, and it's sad. It's really sad. It's sickening too. It's very sickening. The FBI, the CIA, and you name it, they all turned against America and are Israel firsters, I call them. They prefer Israel over America. It's very obvious. They put Israel's agenda ahead of America's, and that's what MAGA is. Israel first. They're not America first. The politicians, Zionists, and MAGA ought to be very scared. The more we figure out, the more they are panicked, not from the public, but from the people who didn't want the public digging. They hate that we're digging, because the deeper we dig, the more we find threads leading back to the same place, Israel. A foreign power with influence so deep in our government, it might as well have a reserved parking spot at the Capitol. And suddenly everything started making sense. The weird hesitations, the broken promises, the lies, the cover-ups. Did I say the lies? The lies, the cover-ups. Yep. The moments where Trump looked like he was reading from someone else's script, the moments Kash Patel lied, and so did Dan Bongino and Pam Bondi, and while I'm naming names, yeah, all of them. Trump, it's pathetic. Erica, all of TPUSA. People were not imagining it. We were seeing it with our own eyes. We were watching our government bend quietly and consistently towards Israel's interests. Yep, they were bought, paid for, and they still are. And that brings us to today and how we got here. It's been a long, sordid year. It's been a little over a year since the inauguration. And we're in a hell of a spot because America isn't just supporting Israel's war, and we're not just advising, and we're not just monitoring it. We're freaking fighting Israel's war. The only one benefiting is Israel. There is zero, make no mistake, zero benefit for America. And I had hope beyond hope that Trump would pull out, and news came across earlier tonight that 5,000 troops are being sent that direction. Can you believe it? Unbelievable. There is zero benefit for America, zero. And Trump has turned into a traitor and a liar, in my opinion. It is the most hurtful, sad, and disgusting thing that he could have done to us. I never thought that Trump would have turned on us or on America like he has. It's really sad. The U.S. and Israel surprise attacked Iran, and it's not turning out good. Not like they thought. Nope, not at all. Jets in their skies, ships in their waters, and for what? There's certainly been no regime change like Trump expected or like he was told there would be. There's billions of dollars flowing out of our pockets. We might as well just be throwing it in the trash or lighting it on fire. Our money is leaving America and going to Israel. Billions flowing out of our pockets like we're the world's favorite sugar daddy. And now we're hearing reports, like I said, incredible ones, that up to 5,000 U.S. Marines and sailors are being moved into that region. This is freaking unbelievable. They say it's not boots on the ground, but how can we believe anything they say? I mean, they say it's Marines and sailors to have more bodies in the conflict zone. I just don't believe it. I think it's boots on the ground, and here we are. Bodies in danger, Americans in danger, you guys. Bodies in a war that isn't ours. They want our sons and daughters to die for Israel. And most Americans, they don't agree with it. Most Americans do not agree with the war we are involved in. I mean, we didn't vote for it. Certainly didn't vote for it. We were lied to, tricked. It's insane. People are asking, why are we fighting someone else's war? Why are our leaders bowing to foreign pressure? Why does this conflict matter more than our own people? And the answers are vague, scripted, and empty. There is zero care for America, zero care for Americans. Like someone shook a magic 8-ball full of diplomatic cliches. Meanwhile, Israel's leaders talk about destiny and prophecy, and like they're trying to force the universe into a storyline nobody asked for. They're trying to force God's hand at sending Jesus back. They're trying to build the third temple. They think they're going to rush in the second coming of Christ. It's crazy. And the scariest part, so many people fell for their lies, for Israel's lies, for Israel's bullshit, for Netanyahu's gaslighting. Make no mistake, Israel, Netanyahu, and the Zionist Jews hate us, you guys. They just do. There's no loyalty there. They only use and abuse us. And the idiots don't even see what they're doing. So many Americans don't see what they're doing. It's hard to believe that so many of us are as dumb as they are. I mean, for real. They have been conditioning us for years, told the same narratives. They just repeated it over and over and over until it stuck like gum on a shoe. But millions of others, thank goodness, some of us woke up. Yep, some of us woke up, because once you see the strings, you can't unsee the puppeteer. And that's how we got here. A country disappointed, scared, furious, snarky, exhausted, and more awake than it's been in decades. Israel knows that a lot of us have woken up. They don't like it. Not because we wanted to be, but because we had to be. And that, my friends, is how we got here. Please pray. Please start spending cash so they can't turn us into only digital banking. If we go to completely digital banking, they will become their slaves. And if you haven't heard of Catherine Austin Fitts, that's Fitts, you can see her on Jimmy Dore, and Tucker Carlson did an interview with her. You've got to listen to what she says. Okay, pray, spend cash, and stay hopeful. God has us. God is in charge. That's the good news. Please subscribe. Please send other people here, share, and have a great night. And and I'll see you soon. And in the meantime, be safe and stay strong. And I will see you soon. I'm trying to applause, but it's not working. Oh, well. Bye.